Tonight is the night for you to tune in and chime in with us right now.
God bless you and welcome to another edition of the Boardroom. The Boardroom is a program where we give you insight of leadership, how we think, how we feel, what we're going through. And I am excited, elated, and ecstatic to have Pastor Butler with us again. We had some technical difficulties last week, but I promise you this week, hopefully we got everything together. We ask that you would we ask that you would subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell everybody that we're on, talking about leadership, talking about what we go through, and some of our thought process, some of the things that we go through, some of the things that we feel, and just to give you a bird's eye view of leadership in 2020.
Absolutely.
Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back.
I'm glad to be back. Thank you for inviting me. I'm honored. I'm honored to you.
Yes, ma'am. Now, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any concerns, please write us, text us in the chat room. And if we have time, we get right to it. Right. Again, thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. I know you're a very busy person.
We all are.
A very famous pastor.
No.
The most famous pastor in the region. And I just thank you for a little of your time. Before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got going. You got a lot going.
Well, everyone know I am Ivy Butler. I am now the pastor of Power and Praise Crusade Ministry, where my husband, the late, great Bishop Rico Butler, was the founder. I love it because we were a team working together. The Lord saw fit to transition him, and I took up the mantle to continue on the ministry, making sure that my kids were good. Mm-hmm. We've been in the area for well over probably close to 20 years, born and raised in Chicago. That's my heart. I love the big city, but South Bend, what I do love about South Bend was a small city, a good city to raise your kids, your family. And this is home for me now, home away from home.
Okay. Sister J, they're saying that they can't see anything. Not really for sure what's going on.
Hello, Sister Jackie. Hello.
Sister Janet Williams, we thank God for you. Please write us, let us know how the stream is going. Okay. Sister Williams, you may have a bad connection. Why don't you try to reboot and get back to you?
All right.
Tell us what else you got going, like your services, your streaming.
Okay. What we've been doing thus far, like everyone else, becoming creative and making sure we're able to reach the people. So we did not close down.
Okay.
When we say close down, we did follow the laws and the regulation. We kind of reduced the size, but we continued on. What was the blessing? We was able to connect to so many more people. At one time, we were just providing clippings of the service because I'm like you, as we talked before, I wasn't a big social media. It was okay. I was good right in where we were at. I would do monthly meetings with women and various things that we would do at the church. So now we're actually been placed in a different arena. And I'm actually enjoying it. I am embracing it. So on Sundays at 11 o'clock a.m., we are live. We do say about an hour, no more than 1 hour, 15 minutes. But Sunday was real good. So we went over. Thursday, the Lord told me to pray. And so I prayed for 30 minutes on Thursday. And then on Tuesday, what the Lord shared that as a body of Christ, as ministers, we provide our people, our parishioners, with spiritual food that they need, but some need natural. How do I need to do it this way? And so on Tuesday, that's when Real Talk Tuesday came about, was birthed, and I want to be able to educate the people. This is what you need to do. So today we were talking about self-care, some of the things that we need to do to make sure our immune systems are strong, because we know there's another wave. So this is good because they have a pharmacy here. They're ready to service you. Pharmacy. See, come on now.
We deliver.
Well, that's a good thing. Listen, that's all right. But you know what I love is that Pastor and Lady Bush, they're here in the community. They're Black owned. Support. We're here to support our own and push our own. They're here. It's a good facility. It's warm. It's cool. They give me water. They did everything. They had baked beans. Come on, some baked beans. I love baked beans. But I appreciate
Boston baked beans.
Yes, I tell you. Boston
not
baked
Bush's
beans.
baked beans.
No. Boston baked beans. So I enjoy just the atmosphere here. And she's doing a great work. They both are. So that's what we're doing now. We're here to support. We're here to meet the need of the community. We want to reach the people. One of the other ways, we were texting, we were calling. We even did some, not drive-by, but we began to go to the house, just make sure everybody was okay. In the event they needed some food or whatever they may have needed at that time, we wanted to be there to be of service.
Mm-hmm.
We're a servant.
Mm-hmm.
Take off the titles. We are a servant to help the people.
And was one of my reasons of trying to develop a platform or a show, to show the people of God what we think and what
Absolutely.
we go through.
Yes.
Church may be an hour, but the process is a week-long process.
Absolutely.
And our mind is constantly going.
Yes.
How can we help develop the people of God? How
Absolutely.
can we help and reproduce ourselves?
Yes.
In the body of Christ.
Absolutely. And needing the knowledge. So I share with them that it's good that I have all this knowledge, but if you don't apply it to your life, is no good.
Yeah.
So I just believe that once you get the information, you provided this platform so people can know, now apply that to your life to make life better for you.
Exactly.
If you know better, you do better.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we are total man ministry.
Yes.
What good are we if we sick?
Absolutely.
We're no good to God.
Absolutely. Not at all.
And so we're total man. I mean, from head to toe.
Yes. Yes.
A relationship along with religion.
Yes. Yes.
Mesh.
Yes. Yes.
Not just religion.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a big misconception because they think as leaders, we just push religion.
Yeah, no.
Jesus says, if you love me,
come on,
you'll do what I do.
Yes.
Simple as that. He didn't say if you come to church.
Yes.
He didn't say if you wear a long dress.
No, it doesn't matter. No.
He says if you love me, you keep my commandments. And so it's all about relationship.
Absolutely. And I think that is so important because we've moved away from a relationship because whatever has happened previous years, you may have had a falling out, but I've learned that you have to learn how to trust people all over again.
Yeah.
Given that opportunity, just as we want Jesus to give us another opportunity, we should be able to be there for our people.
And then I would like to, present a platform of showing the people that leaders are we're human, but we talk and we have a relationship.
I think it's so important that leaders stick together as leaders.
Yes.
And that's, to me, a big thing, not just in the Michiana community, but all over. We have to stick together. We have to support one another.
Yeah.
Even if I don't know, if I did not receive a flyer or a call, it doesn't matter. If I'm free, I'm available, I want to go, I want to support because we're here for one another. We all are working together to build up God's kingdom.
Yeah. So it's not about Church on Christ. It's not about non-denomination or COGIC or Baptist.
Destroy all those different organizations. Yeah. It says, I love Jesus.
Because right now, it ain't no denominations anyway.
No. It's absolutely. We all streaming.
We all streaming.
Yeah.
So I'm going to invite myself over to, is it Talk Tuesdays?
Real Talk Tuesday.
Real Talk Tuesdays.
Is there an expert in the house? So you be my expert.
All right, expert.
Yes. Yeah.
If you hear a whole bunch of noise, it's me. I'm just going to be knocking over stuff. But again, we thank you for coming. We thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
And we thank God for your gift. I said last week, you are a triple threat.
Don't say that.
A triple threat.
No.
You can pray, you can sing, and you can preach.
I sing congregational song and I stay on key.
You do more than that. I saw you.
Well,
I saw you.
Mm-mm.
I seen you.
You seen me? I just feel that if you're going to do it, give it all.
Mm-hmm.
Give it all that you have. I have a story. Just like you have a story, your wife have a story. We all have a story. And as to the reason we do what we do and the drive that we have. And I'm thankful just to be here right now. You know, I don't take any of those things for granted. I love God. I love God's people. And I just want to do his will.
I appreciate the intensity.
Yes.
I appreciate the authority. And you don't stop. I mean, you just energize your buddy. Just keep going, keep going.
Listen, I want the Lord to know that I'm still reveling. That if there's something that he wants me to do, I'm still here. I'm still willing to do whatever I need to do to stand and not be afraid. When God is with you, you cannot be afraid. And this day and time, Pastor, we cannot be afraid. Yeah. Look at what we're dealing with. And the first thing they do is what the church doing, what the church doing. Yeah. Now they're typing that. They're not doing anything. They're typing it on social media, you know, but you're typing, we're here. The thing even on this week about the peaceful protest that we did, because we want to be there. As I shared before, I have 2 sons. I have a grandson. And I want to make sure that the next generation is okay. And if we don't stand together, then I don't know what the next generation is going to do.
And I think it's time to make your voice known.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's no longer, and it's never been about Black Lives Matter. Yeah. When I say Black Lives Matter, that's everybody.
That's every
White Lives Matter.
Yes, if that could have been done, it didn't matter. It was not a good scene. It was a heartbreaking scene. And so anyone can relate. You sitting there and you watching, and it's a heartbreaker. And so what do we do? And that's the thing. What do we do now? Okay, we have protests. What do we do now? What's next? Because we need to make changes. And how can we get to that? So we protest all the time, which is good. And now they've done some rioting and some looting and all that good stuff. You know, well, it's not all good, because now you have people in Chicago that's not able to get medicine, you know, go to the grocery store, go back to their job. So I understand in making a difference, but now we have to see what we need to do now, because we have to go back. We have to clean that area up. And for some that don't know, and I'm about to say this to you, I lost my brother. Yeah, and his funeral on tomorrow. I have to go and travel to Chicago. And now I just heard that they are throwing things at the cars. So I'm like, Lord, what do? You have people who are doing funeral services, trying to get back and forth to work. First responders, are they thinking now it's time for us to pray? And we are standing and saying, God, bring peace, peace to this.
And it's time for the church to stand up.
Yes.
It's time for the pastors, the leaders to stand up.
Yes.
And so now it lets me know that the church is not the church.
No.
You know, you can't have church.
No.
We are the church.
Yes. Now is the time, and is really showing what you have, who was called, who was not called. Will you last? And for us, we're gradually, you know, getting back into the norm of coming to church and getting everything together so the people can come, but we're not rushing it. You know, we're being wise, we're being prayerful, we're seeking the Lord, because we want to make sure, don't no one want to hear that you came to church and you got affected. We don't want that, you know, so we're not rushing. However, we need to start moving forward. We cannot be afraid to move forward.
And the church, we have to become the pillar.
Yes.
As the past, you know, we have to empower, you know, we have to encourage.
Yes.
And then we have to enlighten.
Absolutely.
You know? So when I think of church now, I don't longer think of a 4 walls.
Absolutely.
I think of a society of people that can be whatever they need.
Absolutely.
Or what's needed at that time.
And we have shown that. As we say, we go out for the homeless, and it's devastating because now they have moved them from downtown. They had tents, and the tents were beautiful. But I think it's May 1st, and I may be wrong, and I know Wesley Butler's on there here correcting me. I think it's May 1st when they are no longer, the homeless population are able to go back into the building. So now they're outside.
Wow.
And so they stop, they begin to move them again. And I believe the church on St. Joseph is now trying to accommodate them. But we still go out and we try to help them. It's hot. And as we're saying that some of the homeless, they just not all, as people would say, bums and they don't care. No, these are people. Some have degrees. Some have lost their job. Some have fallen on hard times. What do? You be there for the people. So it doesn't matter if you're rich. If you got it, come on, help us to help the homeless population or whoever is in need. And that's what we have been thus far in the Michiana community. You know, the help, whatever the people may need at that particular time. We have our school, New Vision Christian Academy, K through 12th grade. And what we're doing is we have to first change their mindset. So for us, we are the first African-American school in the city of Mishawaka. So we remove them from the environment. I have them for 6 hours. However, they go back. So what can we do to make sure that their mind is changed? And then if their mind is changed, then their attitude can change. And then we can change their world to know that they can do it. So sometimes when they come to us from the conventional schools, they don't believe they can do it. They don't believe they can learn. They don't believe that life can be different. And so then when we bring them in, it's just making sure they're stable and we build on their strength and let them know that they can. You may not do it like everyone else, but you can learn. So it's like you said, meeting the needs of the people, and that's my heart, educating the people.
And that's ministry.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know, ministry does not mean you stand behind the pulpit and yell and tune up.
Yeah.
You know, ministry means help.
You got to help. Going beyond. And I think that's what people are looking for. They're looking for more, but not just from the leader. I want to challenge the members. We're looking for you to do more.
Exactly.
So if we're trying to complete various projects that it calls you to give and serve and give up time, just as you would want your leader to do it, we expect you to do the same thing.
Exactly.
So we are workers together as a body of Christ, trying to make a difference in the community, meeting the needs.
And that's part of the process because, again, preparation, service, as we know it, started 2 weeks ago for the leaders. Preparing for something. And so we prepare. We feed the flock.
Yes, sir.
We ask God that we have a clear communication. They understand. And then they go out and reproduce what reproduced in them in the world. And that's how that works.
That's it. Making disciples. And that's what we need. We want, people are looking, as I oftentimes say, not what you say, but what you do. And we've seen people that will talk and do something different. And it has really messed up the church. We're living in a day and time that what you preach is something that you must live. And that's when you decide to say, I'm in this pulpit, this is what I must do. That was something that I decided, and I thought very long before I said yes to the position. And that's what I'm doing until he tell me to do something different in this season.
And so, Jesus ain't making no more disciples.
No.
We have to decide to be disciples.
We're being trained. You have to be disciplined. Absolutely. It's a sacrifice. And I don't know if people really understand the sacrifice that the first family, that pastors, first ladies that actually, what they make, and for first ladies, I was in that position. It was a difficult position, to be in.
They get on both sides.
Oh my God. Some get overlooked, some get praised, some are loved, some are hated, some are mistreated. And it's like sometimes they say, I've had enough. I want to just be me. And I tell them, you can't be anyone else but you. And so I wasn't one who was a jealous woman, very confident within myself. And I understand that as my husband was going through things, as a first lady, we go through things as well. And so we have to prepare for the ministry because we are in it together. We complement one another. It's not just a he thing or his thing, it's an our thing. I was his eyes and ears. I made sure that things were good. No one else. There was only one name that was in that house, and it was Ivy, Ram. Nothing else. Nobody else, And so I do. I miss that absolutely. I love my husband. That was my guy. I love him. That's my heart. But that was at that time, and now we're moving forward. So my job right now is to help other pastors, to help other first ladies, and those who are in leadership, who are married, in ministry, to share with them that you can have a successful marriage and work in the ministry. But you have to do it as a team. You have to be able to communicate effectively. You have to complement one another. You have to know your gift. You have to know your role and go with it.
And, we are navigating through this too.
Absolutely.
We are in it too.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about last week. We shut down, we quarantined.
Yeah.
There's a lot of restrictions placed upon us.
Yes.
And if you're not careful, the first 7 weeks for me.
Yeah. Oh my God. Trying to figure out.
It was like I woke up every day on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah. Absolutely. Trying to figure things out.
Because
make sure.
I felt restricted.
Yes.
I felt tied up.
Yeah. Like I'm about to lose all this. And that's when God was stepping in and say, do it this way. And exactly right. You have to come out the box. So it has not been a ministry within the church that have been lacking. From the children's ministry we do on Sundays at 3:00 p.m. The Youth Connect we do on Fridays at 7:00 p.m. Men's Fellowship we do on Mondays at 7:00 p.m. We'll do a Zoom meeting with the church just to, hey, how are you doing? Calling, as I said, whatever we need to do to connect. And so I pray for the leaders because it's a challenge. It is a challenge.
Yeah, it's a big challenge. And I'm excited, and you have encouraged me to keep pushing, to keep stretching, that things don't have to stop.
No, there's life after the storm.
Yeah.
And I learned that we may not see it, but that's when our faith comes in, and we have to trust them no matter what. So through this time, I've learned to trust God no matter what. So June is my birthday month. It's a special month because I'm moving over. I ain't gonna tell y'all yet, but I'm moving over, and God has been good. And so, you have things prepared, like something gonna be so big, and it's like my plans was changed. But I think the best thing is life. That's the best.
That's the best thing.
So being there around family, friends, those who love you, and a lot of times we feel that everybody hates you. You're gonna have someone that's going to always have something negative to say. But it's millions and thousands and hundreds of people that out there that want to support what you're doing.
Oh yeah. And we have to feed them.
Yes.
We have to feed them.
Yes. And smile.
We don't.
It's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
We don't stop at the thumbs down.
No. We're bigger than that.
And we don't even look at the numbers. No. We make the numbers count.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that was one of the things that because I never had a desire to do streaming or Facebook. I never had a desire.
Yeah.
But I have a desire to spread the gospel.
Yes.
And so any way I can do it now.
Yes.
I think our first stream was a video on the iPhone.
Oh my goodness.
That we text to the members.
Oh wow.
We just kept going. Kept going.
Yeah. And that's the same thing for us. It's like, first it's like what you're gonna do and getting those little, uncertainties out, and then saying, okay, I got to do it. And I think that's what he did. He pushed us to a whole nother different level now that we're comfortable.
And we have a whole different meaning of what church is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just beyond, as they say, just preaching, that the people need more.
Oh yeah.
They need more.
Oh yeah. Well, again, we thank God for you. We thank God for you tuning in.
Yes.
Write in your questions, your comments, and concerns. We thank God for Facebook.
Hello, everyone. Dree and Nate.
Mother Janet Williams, all the way from Gary, Indiana. Give your husband, my friend, a kiss. Tell him I said hello. We've been enjoying your stream. We're praying for all of the preachers, the pastors,
absolutely,
the members all over the world, that God will continue to keep us and to sustain us. God is in control.
Yes, he is. He is in control.
God is in control. We got really caught up.
We did.
Just talking.
Yeah.
But
that's what people need.
I have a couple words here. Let's play the word game.
The word game. Okay.
Word game.
Lady Bush, you gonna help me with this word game? You gotta help me, girl.
She's way too smart.
Oh my goodness.
She's too smart for me. You a doctor too.
I'm in my second. I'll have my first residence in September, so I'm really excited about that.
Y'all way up here.
Move all that. We're just good people. Yes, I'm ready.
Good, intelligent people.
We're good people. I love you, brother Dion.
Yeah, y'all have a different wavelength.
Come on.
Okay,
we're here to help.
Family.
My heart.
You raised some powerhouse.
I love my kids.
Powerhouses.
My husband named them all.
Oh, wow.
He did. The first was like, oh, can I name it? It's like, okay, And I did the middle name. Then the second one came like, oh, wait a minute. I said, okay. Then the boy's name is just like Rico and Rico. But I am so grateful that my kids are saved. They're in church. They love God. They love church. So I am grateful. I'm grateful.
You want to talk about their gifts? Because they're like highly talented.
As I share, I tell my boys, gifted. I want them to, whatever God has in store for them, I just want them to, whatever blessing, whatever level, I want God to just take them there. My oldest daughter, she speaks, she's a preacher. She's a powerful young lady. My youngest daughter, she does praise and worship, but she speaks a word. The oldest is a preacher. The youngest, they all are prophetic. Mm-hmm. My oldest son plays the drums, and my youngest son, which I call him my miracle, we didn't know he was coming. Oh, wow. And so, it's like, what? He's coming? It's like, okay, what happened? And they said, what happened? But nevertheless, he was a blessing. He played the organ. So we are the church.
That's a good church.
And I am grateful because
that's a good church.
We didn't have, Prophet Bobby Dawson told me, he says, you don't have to worry about anything because you have everything within your family. And I think it's a blessing, and they love to be there. Mm-hmm.
Let me stop you there.
Yes, sir.
And as leaders, God has given us everything we needed.
Yes.
Because we always thinking about what we don't have, or if we had.
Use God what you have.
Yeah, He's already given us.
And He'll give you the right people to come in to help push your vision to the next place that it needs to go. Mm-hmm. And I'm just grateful to have my children. And I ask them, I have meetings every 6 months. How do you feel? Are you tired? Do you want, because I don't want to be the one just making children do anything, but they love it. And when it gets to the point, and I tell them, if they feel when God leave, I'm leaving. I'm not staying, so I want for them. And that was one of the things of continuing on. I looked at my children and I wanted to save my kids. It was nothing else. I didn't care about nothing else. Nothing else. I wanted to make sure that my kids were okay.
That's amazing. And you've done a excellent job.
With the help of God, He's blessed us.
Excellent job. Friends.
I have very few friends.
Why is that? This is a lonely walk.
It is a lonely walk. My husband only had a few friends.
I was his friend.
You were one of his friends.
He wasn't my friend on the basketball court.
No, not on the basketball court. No. He's going to talk trash. He's going to do what he needs to do. He's from Chicago, man. What do you expect? He's a Chicago baller.
I was wondering if he was still saved.
He'll push you. He'll push you to the edge now. Don't push him. He's going to do it. Well, his sons picked that up, so you better watch out. So they are some ballers in their own right. But yeah, I friends, and I love everybody. I love people. You got to have that group that you're able to relax.
Right, exactly.
When I say relax, don't mean you sinning or you doing whatever. No, I just cannot be me.
Yeah.
And there's only a few, but it's okay. But I'm connected to so many. But do you have that group that you can depend on that is there? Yes. I am thankful for my church family. They have been wonderful. Even with what I'm going through right now, they've been so good. And I appreciate them, making sure that I am there doing well
Mhm.
in the church or whatever I need, or even now what we're going through. They said, well, how you doing? I can't explain it, y'all. I can't explain it. I just have a different view when it comes to people transitioning now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. After you lose what I lost, my husband, who I was with, my high school sweetheart, since I was 15, 24 years, only my everything. Is just kind of different. Doesn't mean that in missing, because I lost a sister now, a brother, Otis. Doesn't mean that you're not going to miss them. You're not in pain and set. But I learned that time keep going.
Yeah.
And so either
Yeah.
I'm going to sink under or rise above. And
Yeah.
that's what it was with my husband. But I believe after you lose someone, you're able to get it. And you lost a family.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So it's just kind of different, And so then I understand you learn your true friends. You
Mhm.
learn where people are at
Mhm.
when you go through those things in your life. You really learn people. I
Yeah.
learned a lot
Yeah.
in 6 years. Do you hear me? I learned a lot to the point now I have just guarded. And the people who are around me, they make sure those negative things don't get to me. Things
Yeah.
that I hear, I've learned to just keep going on no matter what. And pastors, as well as first ladies, have to get to that point because people are going to always have something to say. If you do it this way, it's a problem. If you don't do it that way, it's a problem. So you can't win for losing.
And that's the struggle or the burden of being a leader,
Absolutely.
because God didn't give the people the vision,
Yes.
and so you're trying to bring this vision into manifestation.
Yes, sir.
And the people is like, it's an empty room in here.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
It ain't no lights in here.
Until it's victory. So when it's victory, then everybody's like, yeah. God told
Look what
us.
we did.
Yes,
No.
Yes,
That just didn't happen.
Yes. And so then, as being a great leader, you said, that's right, we all did it, and let's run to the next thing. So we learned that if God didn't give them the vision, they won't see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're not the leader.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, follow the leader, as you're following Christ. And so as long as you're following Christ, you have to do what your leaders do. Is requiring you to do, to push them, to pray for them. So you just need to follow the leader.
Okay. Faith.
What I stand on and believe. My faith in God, seriously, is beyond what I see. I trust God with my life. I trust God with everything. And I would say, even when going through the 6 years, I say, it's me and you, Jesus.
Mhm.
It's me and you. And faith is saying, I believe. I believe who He is. I believe what He can and what He would do for me. So it's a personal relationship. And I've grown spiritually, believe you me. I've grown to really trust on the Lord to take care of me.
Mhm.
And He has taken care of me. He has taken care of me and my family
Mhm.
and the church and the school.
Mhm.
He's taking care of me.
I often say that it's immature for a Christian to want everything to be smooth.
Yeah.
To want the sun to shine.
Right. Yeah.
And the Lord took me back probably a year.
Okay.
I would go over my old messages.
Mm-hmm.
I was preaching to myself.
Absolutely.
I thought I was feeding people.
No.
I was preaching for that span of time. I was preaching to myself.
Yes.
For what I was about to go through.
Absolutely.
And so faith is not the tool that we have for the sun to come out.
Right.
The tulips to push,
Come on.
Faith is what we have in God.
Yes.
That God knows what He's doing.
That's right.
And not God gonna do what we want.
Not my ability.
Yes.
I totally trust God, and He is
with no hesitations.
With no hesitations. And that's what we have to do in this time. The experts, as we shared before, don't have the answers. We must trust God no matter what.
Trust God no matter what. Any questions, you all? Life.
Precious. I don't waste time. Oh my God.
You don't have time to waste time.
I don't have time to waste time. Everything that I do is intentional. is purposeful and meaningful. I've learned that we waste a lot of time.
Yes.
And even in this, if you don't realize that you waste a lot of time and some have wasted money, this time during the pandemic, we were taught that a lot of time we wasted. And I even shared that with the congregation. I said, hey, y'all, we're not going back. I understand we waste a lot of time. I'm not waiting. We must, do what we need to do. God is a timely God. We need to do what we need to do. I don't want to miss my season. I don't want to miss the mark. I don't want to have any regrets. So I now focus and I surround myself with positivity, prayer. If you're not adding to my life, I can afford for you to pull my energy. I just can't do it anymore. I cannot. I just don't.
One of the things that I told New Jerusalem is this time of separation, of quarantine, this is not a vacation.
No.
This is not time off.
Yeah.
We don't have time to waste time.
Yes.
And I wanted to present a platform of just getting straight to the point.
Absolutely.
It don't take all day to have church.
It doesn't.
It don't take 3 hours to have church.
It doesn't. No.
I was looking at podcasts and video casts or whatever you call them. They take forever to get to what they want to say.
Yeah, but they have to build, even in your message, it's like, what are you trying to get to? What is your end point? And sometimes we have lost a lot of time. But now, because we have to understand that people's attention span is totally different. Yep. And so if you don't, 20 minutes as far as a message.
That's about it.
30 minutes. Yeah. Other than that,
if you're good, if you're anointment.
Right. Because other than that, people's minds are gone.
Yeah.
And then God have to flow. So we have to leave that window for God to just flow.
Yeah. And then people are dying. Life is so precious.
It is.
It's not promised.
No.
It's not promised.
It's not.
And we live as if we got a whole lot of time.
Absolutely.
And if you're 30, you already middle age.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
And see that? Now, I just told him I have a birthday coming. Now he said 30. So when I tell him I'm about to move out my 40s.
Oh wow! Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
You don't look like what you've been through.
Hey.
And so that's the perks.
My husband said he wanted to make sure I stay beautiful, and he did.
Yes. And so tomorrow ain't promised. It's one of the problems with the churches. We put off tomorrow.
Absolutely.
We should have did yesterday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ministry,
loving God's people, serving God's people.
Serving.
Yeah. When we think of ministry, we're serving at all levels. We're serving. Move away from the title, move away from the seat, move away from the position. We are servants.
The greatest among us.
Yes, sir.
Worship.
Truth. You got to tell the truth. It's a lifestyle.
You got to tell the truth.
A lifestyle. So as we shared before, worship is not a song, a fast song. Worship is not a slow song. Worship is that you're communing with God, and this is my lifestyle. This is what I do every single day. So I don't have to wait to Sunday. I'm already connected because I've been connected to God during the week, meditating, praying, fasting. We have to put that time in. It makes us feel better.
I love it.
Yes.
Two things. My wife she says the next piece or the other piece, worship is a result of spending time with God.
Yes.
But you said truth. And not you telling the truth.
Right.
But you knowing the truth.
Knowing the truth, and we're not perfect.
Oh my goodness!
So a lot of time when you feel that you're in salvation,
well, God already knows.
You're not perfect, and I don't try to be perfect. I tell them, no, don't look at me. It's God is the only perfect one, and that's what they need to look to. I'm striving. I'm gonna do all that I can to stand, and that's why I'm in a position. Once I said yes to everything that comes with it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I said yes to it.
So it's the result of spending time with God and knowing God, getting to know God.
Yes, sir.
Getting to know what He likes.
Absolutely. How will we build a relationship? And let's take it naturally. How do I know, even with my husband, I needed to get to know him. I need to talk. I need to, when we were able to, we knew each other's vibes. So in order for us to build a relationship up with God, we have to read his word. We have to spend time. We have to pray. We have to ask God to reveal his scriptures to us. We need that. And so what happens that when you pray and things happen, that lets you know that God is with you. So that builds up your faith. That builds up your confidence that, man, God is with me and we can do it. So
yeah, and we bombard heaven, or we bombard ourselves with God's word. Yes. And not bombard God with his word. You already know what he said.
Yes. And speak his word. I share with them that the enemy don't respond to no other word but God's word. So when you begin to speak and open your mouth and speak life, speak God's word, and then things will turn, and then things will happen, then things will shift and move in your life. Speak God's word.
God's word.
Yes, sir.
Because the enemy does not have the gift of prophecy.
Come on now. Come on.
He's not omnipresent. He has the gift of hearing.
Yeah.
And he hear what we say.
Oh yeah.
So if we say God's word, that ain't what he want to hear.
No.
Or want to be around.
Yeah. Resist the devil.
Oh my goodness.
He shall flee.
You got an offering? I'm preaching now, y'all.
Y'all need
to give me an offering.
I got to give him an offering. Here, let me see. I think I got a dollar.
Okay.
I think I got a dollar out here.
I'm preaching harder than you giving.
Hey, that's what you say. Preaching hard. That's what you say on Sunday when they come up there and give dollars. Say, listen, I'm preaching harder than what you giving, man.
My preacher said, I'm preaching harder than y'all saying amen. I'm preaching harder than what you giving.
Yeah, I done gave you a dollar. Okay. Yeah, come on.
Okay. The gospel.
True.
Gospel.
Spreading the gospel. Being able to preach in season, out of season. Be prepared. People need to hear the good news.
Yes.
People need to hear the good news. We call our ministry of hope. Because sometimes people who have joined the ministry, their situation was hopeless based on people that was in their ear saying that it would not get better. And so our ministry is ministry of hope. That's what the gospel is. Hope that I trust God.
That's
hope
our job.
In Jesus.
Yeah. Our job is not to sell hope or to sell you a false hope. No. Our job is to give you hope.
Yes.
Through the word of God.
Through the word of God and the experience that I've had with him. And after I have my experience, there's nothing you can say or do that will cause me to change my mind because I had an experience with God. There's nothing you can say or do to change my mind.
Oh yeah.
Because I've had a personal experience with God.
Exactly. I love it. My whole childhood.
Yes, sir.
You know my mother. She's prophet.
Yes.
Hey,
hello, lady.
But just different situations.
Yes.
During the course of my life, I don't have a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
There's a God.
Absolutely.
And now my burden is spreading the good news.
Yes.
It's not really church.
Yeah.
It's not meetings. It's not departments.
Yeah.
It's not denominations.
Absolutely. No.
It's the gospel.
We have moved away from that. People just want truth. They want you to be real. They want you to preach the gospel, live the gospel. They have a lot of questions, and we must live. We must be the example. Christ was the greatest example, so we must be that example.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
You are an educator. The next generation.
The next generation, we need to prepare them. My husband is always fuse modern and our foundation to stay relevant, to stay fresh. And I think that's what a lot of churches need to do, fusing. How can we bridge that gap? We have our millennials who are ready. Some are stubborn. Some question a lot, but there's a group out there that want to know how. And we cannot be afraid to educate them, to train them, to be the leaders that they are intended to be and will be soon.
Yeah, I love it. I'm thinking and planning another platform for the younger,
Absolutely.
so they can, because they're going through a whole nother thing.
They are. They are.
But our generation, we was not allowed to ask why.
No, we was
It
not.
was just do as I say.
Yes, but now.
And if we asked why, that was a backhand.
Yes, and we were afraid to do that. But we have a generation now that says, "Hey, I just need a little bit more explanation as to why," and it's okay if it's done in a respectable way. We show them in the Bible. We're not here to debate. We're here to just enlighten them, and they are open to it. Youth Connect was one of the things. Taquisha, my oldest daughter, is the youth pastor, as well as her team of Elder Wesley, Butler, Vacante, the Bakers.
I played ball with Wesley too.
Is he on there?
Yeah.
Wesley, do you hear him? He played ball with you. Is he a good?
He all right.
He decent. He decent. He decent. What you got to say, Butler? If you're on there, are you decent? And so, Elder Wesley Butler, his wife, the Bakers, Janice Baker, Byron, Brother Timothy Farrow, Sister Farrow, and Elder Fisher, Sister Fisher. So we have a team. So we have a team that connects with our youth, that they're able to share their heart. We want to hear what they got to say. So if I have a meeting, I always have that group in as well, because they are our future. And we don't want to wait till they get of age, because we understand that once they turn 18, it's something about their heart. It's like the world began to pull them away. So if we can catch them and get them involved, keep them focused, then we can keep them in the church house, because they say it's a group, but we have all groups. So we're blessed in that area. We have all groups, and we push them. And we tell them, yes, go get educated. So when you decide to come back, you're able to do what you need to do, help the ministry go on. So, but yeah, we have to be there for them.
And that's the thing. We have to be there for them. I refuse to believe that this gospel is unattractive.
No.
I refuse to believe that it's outdated.
No, it's not.
I refuse to believe that it doesn't bridge the gap and connects.
Absolutely.
And as leaders, we have to see their gifts and push them in that direction.
Absolutely. We have to be open. And I tell them, come on, if they're tech savvy, because this generation, living in the informational age, they are encountering things that we have never encountered. So every generation deal with a certain thing within that generation. And so they have a lot. They have dealt with so much, a pandemic. They have dealt with riots.
Racism.
It's so much that they have dealt with. So if you imagine the mental state, so we have to be able to be there to tell them, this is how you handle this. This is how you overcome this. They have to know the language. They have to know the lingo. If they don't know that, they don't know that unity is strength for them, then they're going to keep just misbehaving and feeling that if I scream and yell and all, that's going to get it. Yeah, that can, but it ain't going to get you far. You have to strategically plan. Have a plan of action to make sure things are good for them. And that's what we must do as family, setting up our children to be millionaires, business owners, real estate owners.
That is not hard. It's
not difficult. About their credit and how to do with their finance is our job. So we have to put the time in.
Yes, as you was talking, shout out to Bishop Jones.
All right, Bishop Jones.
Bishop Erskine Jones. We had the mentoring program along with your husband.
Yes.
And, where we went into the schools.
Absolutely.
Because this is a high-tech racism.
Yes.
This racism is going on is beyond ain't on the radar.
Absolutely.
But it's a setup.
It's a setup.
To our young men, to our young women. And so we have to keep them close.
We have to keep them close. We have to guide them. We have to teach them. We can't be afraid to retrain them all over again. I know what the world is teaching you, but that's not the right way. And sometimes we moved away from that. And parents have to get back in that position. They cannot be afraid to talk to their children. And in the event they cannot, then you go and get outside help. to help you. Okay, I need some more parental training. What I need to do, I have this team. We all know we went through it, but I wouldn't too disrespectful. I wouldn't be disrespectful to my parents.
Well, we got a whooping for everything.
Yeah, so it's like we was afraid. We'd do a little bit, and it's like and then it was a whooping. Like, yeah, I deserve that, but I sure enjoyed myself in the midst of it. But now they're doing a lot of things. Some are striking parents and cursing them out, things that we have never seen before. But that's because some of them are not even in church anymore.
And it's a cry for help.
Yes.
They dealing with some situations and things that we never had to deal with.
Yeah, it is. There's a reason behind that behavior, and we need to figure out what's going on. And that was one of the reasons we talked about mental health, to help them. It's not that you're crazy. It's not that you don't understand. It's something that's going on, and let us help you through different traumatic experiences. If I did not, and it was amazing for us that now my husband and I am talking with others that went through what I went through and losing him. So now I find myself, remembering all the things that I told others. So playing that dual role to help me through. And I had a friend, and I talked to her right now, and I came to her because everybody, when they ask, well, how you doing? I'll say, I'm doing good, or I'm doing okay. And I had someone to tell me, you're not doing okay. You're not doing good. And so I didn't know what to say. And she shared with me, she says, well, sometimes people want to be that one to say, man, I helped her through this. Man, I couldn't do whatever. But I want to tell them that God, and the prayers of the saints is what helped me through.
It takes time.
It takes time. Yes. So for the kids, they're able to share. Having that person there to connect with them, getting on their level, meeting them where they're at.
And listening.
Actively listening.
Mike is 23. He just turned 23.
Wow.
Or 24.
Okay.
And he has a top 100 list.
Wow.
And I was like, boy, you was born in 96.
Right.
You don't have a top 100 list.
Yeah.
Everything's been done already.
Oh, my God.
But just listening to his concepts.
Yes. It's totally different.
Yeah.
It's totally different the way they think.
Yeah.
How they do things. Is my daughter in finishing up, and I'm proud of her. She just finished up her bachelor's degree. She was taking 16 credit hours, and these kids are taking 20 credit hours, and they are just running and they're doing it. And so I'm proud of them. So they think differently.
Have so much to add.
Absolutely.
So much to contribute.
Yes.
Don't let them sit. Keep them busy.
Yes.
Get them busy.
Yes.
And keep their mind.
Absolutely.
Keep their mind.
Absolutely.
Because society is pulling each.
Yes. So what we must do, we have to figure out a plan to keep them active. Make church fun.
Yes.
For us,
it's okay to have fun at church.
It's okay to have fun. Games.
Because some stuff that happens is funny.
It is.
Man.
I have some funny stories. I do.
I have some funny stories. Because I spent my life at church. So.
Absolutely. And you can't do nothing but laugh. It's like, can you believe that happened? It's like it happened. So it's that moment. Yeah. I enjoy church. When we were younger, we were hanging out as teens. We got into our little devilment stuff, but not to the point of just crazy. Everybody had their stories, but nevertheless, we got it together and we love God. And then we were able to move forward. So I believe the same thing with this generation. We can't be afraid to reach out to them. We can't be afraid, as you just shared, giving them that platform and teaching them the whys. Yeah. And they're there to listen. Yep.
They're there to listen. We thank God for Sister Janet Williams, First Lady Williams, our purity lady. She asked me to be the purity pastor for our state. And so God bless you. But our youth, they're next.
Absolutely.
And I won't even say next. They now. Yeah.
They now. We must prepare them right now. Yeah. And they're ready. They're ready. They're eager. They want to do something. So why not? And I don't mind having that time for them. I want to hear what they're saying so we can prepare ourselves. We need to prepare our church for the future.
Oh yeah.
And we sometimes, and we all know, we don't know because you don't have to be sick to leave here.
No.
We know that. It's just so much, even through the pandemic. I had a friend that was laughing and said, so I did a whole lot of bad stuff. You mean to tell me that I'm sorry. Oh, question.
Question.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see the question. Tell me what it is.
What's the question? Are you?
She's on.
Question is from Sister Brenda Marshall. She
From
said,
Fort Wayne?
Okay.
Sister Brenda, God bless you.
God bless you.
Tell your husband say hi.
what are some strategic things we can do to change the mindset of our youth?
Okay. You first have to talk with them
Mm-hmm.
to see exactly, and that's what we did. We had a forum, we had a summit to sit down and talk, and you can't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Allow them, and then after learning where they at, then include them in the plan of action.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting with them and be consistent. They do not like that we start something and we stop.
Yep.
Or we hearing them but really not hearing them.
Mm-hmm.
So having a meeting, having them to list things that they like to do, things that needs to be changed in the church, and then being able to be respectable and take it to the leader and then go from there. What's your thought?
Find out what they like to do.
Yeah.
Some like to work with people. Some are technical.
Yes.
You may find some might be good in finance.
Absolutely.
Outreach.
Yes.
And then push them out there.
Absolutely.
But make them accountable, but don't micromanage them.
And the thing is, and there's no need, if I'm going to trust you with a position and then now I'm looking over you, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
So as my husband established, and we continued on, pastors within. So they know that, as they say, the senior pastor, but I have one that's over the outreach, the finances, the administration, the ministerial staff, because it kind of relieves me, the youth, so I don't have to worry about that. And so we come, unless when our schedule get real busy, but we meet with them. They tell me exactly what their plans are. Then they provide me with a report, and then they go from there. Even with the youth, don't be afraid, because they have ideas, and we set up. That's what August is for us. August is that month that we do our youth conference. They're able to connect whatever they desire, whatever that plan is, and it's not against what the leader is saying or any beliefs or anything negative. But if it's something that's going to add, try it.
Oh yeah.
Try it. Meet them halfway, and go from there. So the first thing, talking with them, seeing exactly what they can do, have them to list. After you provide that list, put those lists in different categories. Come back and meet again, and then go from there.
And then measure the results.
Absolutely. Over time. Yes.
And
over time.
Show them.
Yes. You have
the progress.
Yes. When you have the reports, for us, we have the reports, and they tell us we didn't went to this many houses, 200 houses. We gave this out. We have for the outreach, Helping Hands. And so Helping Hands, we have bags, and we have the logo, the information, because what we're doing is we're spreading the gospel. And so that's all they want. You'll be surprised that they don't want a whole lot. They just want to be heard. They want to be young. I don't expect my 20-year-old to act 40 years of age. I don't expect that. They're going to make some errors like we made errors, and we must be there. We must act on what the Bible says. Sometimes the saints don't do what the Bible says.
Healthy You says, inspect what you expect.
Right. Absolutely.
And what you put in is what you get out.
Absolutely. We try to invest in our young people. Try to be there for them. And of course, you have some that's going to act, and they have that moment, that developmental stage. Give them that time, just as you wanted someone to give you that time.
But it's developed, like you said. It's what's going to make and mold them. Yes,
and it's a process over time. And then once you see that you have invested and, man, they have grown, then you said, man, we've done a good job.
And then, Sister Brenda, enjoy the process.
Yes.
Because you're going to have some good days.
Absolutely.
You're going to have some bad. You're going to feel
pulling your hair out and all that.
Yeah. You're going to feel like maybe you're not connected.
Yeah.
One day you're going to feel like maybe,
but they love to
enjoy
talk.
The process.
They want the time to talk and share, and they want to be active. Have them to do something and allow them to be a part of it. Get it together. We had a play that we allowed our youth, and we guide them. We was a facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
So the facilitator is one that you help them to figure out. You go around and they have them in little groups and then come together and go from there. So it's a lot of ways. It's a lot of ways.
Let's stay away from a whole list of do's and don'ts.
Yes. Yes. Be open. They already know. They already know the don'ts. What can they do?
Yeah.
What can we do to move forward? What can we do to make sure that our youth stay active? Those are the things that we need to kind of stand on and use. And they'll tell you what they like and don't like, and things that they don't understand. And we have to be open and listen to them and move forward. And
you'll notice as you connect with them and they connect with you, they will start looking like you, talking like you, in their own little way, dressing, and so that's not a sign of they're getting it, but it's a sign that you getting
an impact, and then they begin to develop into their own individual person. So of course they're gonna have and mimic some things as they leaders. If it's how they shout, how they preach, how they dress. That's a good thing. And then they later on develop into the person that God intended for them to be.
Yes, yes. You know what? We done went way over our time.
Oh my God.
We thank God for you all. Time flies when you're having fun. This is the fastest 62 minutes.
I can't believe this.
Ever. We thank you, Facebook.
Yeah.
We thank you, YouTube. We thank you, New Jerusalem. I have one more question. Before we close out.
What I asked you before.
I'm keeping this down. So, I'm gonna pay my ties on that.
Okay.
Church.
No longer the same.
Oh wow. No longer the same.
No longer the same. No longer the same.
Church.
Fresh. A newness. God is looking for us to do something different. It's all about Him. What His desire is, getting people close to Him. It's not about us. It's not about your brand. It's not about that. People are into making sure their brand is good. How about let's make sure God, and that's good, but we want to make sure if I am in the way of you reaching God and you see too much of my flesh, then the spirit man, then I'm losing. So the church needs to represent God. So it's changed. It's changed.
For the good or for the bad?
For the good. For the good, because now we taking everything into account. We changing some things. We see now that some things we can do away with. We see there's some things that we need to step up in. We see that our relationship need to be a little bit closer. We need to dig even more in the Word. We need to just connect more, be more like Christ. And that's what God has said. Everybody across the world is on their knees crying out, help us, Jesus. And that's a beautiful thing, because before that wasn't the case.
Wow.
So church is no longer church. Let's do ministry.
Get back to Christ.
Get back to Christ. Let's be servants.
Wow. Thank you for tuning in to the Boardroom.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Till the next time we meet. Thank you.
Pastor.
God bless you.
Bush.
God bless you, Facebook.
Bye. See you later. Thank you for tuning in.
Wow.